Hello, everyone. Hello. I'm Sheldon Bartlett-Rumor, and this is it. Welcome back to This Is It TV. This Is It Network is your digital TV network connecting remarkable women to inspiring stories. We do that through our growing community, our engaging content, and our real connections. Remarkable women, inspiring stories. We do that each and every day. I come to you live each and every day at 11 a.m. Eastern here from our Facebook page. And then we also connect to LinkedIn, YouTube, and two of our additional Facebook groups. So I'm excited that you guys are here. This is a pretty simplistic one, but I think that all of us need to hear it. And I need to kind of be living it right now. I think we have all heard of or understand the importance of gratitude. Good morning, Lisa. The importance of gratitude and what that looks like and what that should feel like. But I think that the practice of it, and the one thing with Scream Your Dream, the goal of Scream Your Dream is for it not to be simply just a hashtag. It is a practice. It is the ability for you to tune in to the things that you should be doing every day in the hopes of having a better day, in the hopes of not only being inspired, but staying motivated. And the practice affords you the ability to do that. And one of the largest things that I think that the majority of people out there need to practice more of is the practice of gratitude and being able to say, thank you. Could you imagine? Thank you. And the goal for today is to be able to reach out to as many people as possible and do that. You know, as we move so quickly in our lives, as we navigate the various spaces, fall is crazy, going into winter, going into 2020, 2021, you know, what are you grateful for? And who has provided value in your life? And if there's a way that you can say thank you to those people, there's a way that you can acknowledge those people, even in its simplest form. And I think that from a marketing standpoint and from a connection standpoint, it's very much one of those things where even in the most simplistic space, like in the social media space, right? I always say, if you swing by, say hello, there's nothing more powerful than being seen and being heard. And those of you that even watch this later will say hello within their replays, because again, it's that sense of acknowledgement of being in a space and participating within a conversation. I know that a lot of you are navigating a lot of different things in your lives and doing your best to be able to get out there and really be able to tackle all of the amazing things that you have going on. But it's really about being able to say thank you, really about being able to address what it is that people are doing for you, taking a moment, sitting in that moment and just saying thank you. There's a sense of gratitude that all of us feel, but are we acting upon it? Are we using our lips and are we typing out thank you? Are we typing out that we are grateful for these people? Are we grateful for, and even in the most simplistic forms, somebody swinging by and saying hello? So if you have stopped by to see us this morning, please make sure that you say hello to me. There's nothing more important than being seen and being heard. And I would like to acknowledge that you are here with all of us today. And I think that honestly, here's the situation. I think if people are posting, if people are saying hello, if people are, coming to your events, if people are purchasing your products and services, I can't tell you how many people have not said thank you to people who are loyal customers of theirs, not because they don't value them, but because they haven't taken a moment to do so. And if we do anything within the practice of screaming your dream, it's just to turn the light on to some things that you know inherently, right? You know. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Lisa. You know inherently these things. Like, to my own dismay, I am not a brain surgeon. What it is that I teach and the philosophies that I have are not complex. It's about the basic necessities, good morning, Joanne, of being able to say, okay, these are the things in which I need in order to live a better life. Good morning, Carol. These are the things in which I need in order to really attack my life in a more positive way, to not only be inspired, but to stay motivated. And one of the things that I think that we can do in the act of gratitude is not to hold that gratitude to ourselves, not to be selfish with the gratitude, not to have it only be a practice in which you jump out of bed and put your feet on the floor and you're like, I'm grateful for being awake. I am grateful for breathing. I'm grateful for the ability to walk. I think that there's also another step of that is to say, thank you so much for tuning in every day at 11. Thank you so much for being on my newsletter. Thank you so much for purchasing that product or service. Thank you so much for paying a lick of attention. this is just my Wednesday scenario, but this will be my main focus not only today, but moving forward is really diving in to what it is that I've got going on. I have to tell you, I get overwhelmed and I sometimes don't see, I see a necessity to build and not necessarily as much of a necessity to dive into. And I found myself being distracted by trying to accumulate more instead of diving in to what I have and showing gratitude for what I have, the community that I have, the people who follow, friend, and like us already, and diving into saying thank you. And I think that I know that that is the phase of life that I need to be in. That is the phase of life that quarantine and COVID has afforded me, because I've been safe, because I'm healthy, because I'm appreciative of not only what it is that I've done thus far, but the community in which that I've built. And it is my job not only to build that community, allow for it to continue to grow, but also to pour into it. And so me saying thank you, was a passing thing. It was kind of like, oh, everybody knows that they're appreciated. Everybody knows that I'm grateful for them. It has to be an active practice to say thank you. So if there is, especially if your business has gone into a slower spin, right? You're not necessarily in the best place or in the place that you were before quarantine. This is the opportunity for you to reach out to people and say, you were always, from 2014 to 2019, you were a great client. Thank you. No level of expectation and or need. Somebody who picks up your kid at the bus stop, somebody who, takes them to dance all the time or brings a little bit extra snacks when we're sitting and we're watching. It's a time for us to acknowledge them and say out loud, even though we believe and gain that appreciation in our heart, we're putting that gratitude within our various journals. But are we saying it out loud? Are we using our words in order to communicate that out loud? Are we saying that we are grateful? Are we saying thank you? And that can be as simple as responding to a comment within a social media post, or actually sending a text that says thank you, or touching base with a group of people that can say, oh my goodness, I appreciate you. And creating that gratitude practice, and not only for ourselves, because I think that that's apparent, right? I think that we have all followed, fanned, and liked people who have encouraged us to be grateful for what it is that we do have. I don't think that that's a new concept by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think saying thank you is a new concept. It's basic manners, but I think we move so quickly that we often forget those manners, right? We move so quickly and we're so focused and fixated on building and the scale of things and how large can I make things, how much more can I have, that we're not only are we not grateful for what we do have, but we also are not acknowledging those that have helped us get there. So it's really about that thank you. It's really about honing into the people that we can really say, oh my goodness, thank you so much for that. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for showing up for me. Thank you for being there. Thank you for, sending me that note, or, referring that business to me. Thank you. Even if it's time past, even if they haven't referred you to business in quite some time, even if they haven't talked to you in quite some time, it's an opportunity now, at least for this week, at least for this day. I give you permission to say thank you. And I know that it's the most basic of things. It's not a complex thing. It's not a scenario in which people don't get, in which you're confused as to the basic manners of life. I think that we just forget. I think we often just forget. We just forget on how to function. We forget, on the basic necessities of things. Hello, Natasha. The basic necessities of things. And I think that all we need to do is really hone into the basic manners of life, and saying thank you is one of them. Saying thank you so much for being able to show up. Thank you so much for sharing that post. Thank you so much for that like, that follow, that fan. Thank you so much. That's basic social media space. Needless to say, the things that people have been doing for you in your life. If you're lucky enough, and a lot of us are, to still have guardians and parents and aunties and uncles and who have helped us throughout the years, just take a moment. They'll be shocked for a lot of you, right? For being like, why are you calling me? What's wrong? Why are you saying thank you? This is odd. But I think that the practice of it is important. The expectation isn't there, and you're not doing it for the expectation. You're not doing it for the acknowledgement. I think that you're doing it to recognize and begin to quantify all of the people in your life that are doing things for you, all of the things and all of the different relationships that you have in your life that have benefited you, and taking the necessary time to step out of it so you can appreciate it. And I know that that's hard. I know that that is a difficult thing, especially if right now you're feeling as if things aren't necessarily going your way. You're like, no one's helping me with anything, Sheldon. I don't have any understanding of who you think I should be thanking. But there's a practice of thanking people actively. And it doesn't have to be that they've helped you in this particular moment. And I think that by bringing up how they've helped you in the past could ignite them to help you in the future, right? Because maybe you missed that scenario where you should have said thank you when they helped you in the first place. And time has passed for sure, but it's always a beautiful way to start a conversation is to be grateful, is to acknowledge, what somebody has done for you in a way in which they would not even look to expect it. So saying thank you is going to be really important. Saying thank you is going to be really an interesting thing. It affords you the ability to reconnect with people that you haven't spoken to in quite some time, people that you need to reach out to but don't necessarily know how to create the conversation. A thank you would help. It always moves the conversation in the right direction and starts everything off on a good foot. So I suggest that you dive into your thank yous. For those that are maneuvering in your life in the most casual of ways, in the most assumed of ways, being able to say thank you is going to be a clear way where they see you, they hear you, they acknowledge you in that way, right? Good morning, Maureen. They acknowledge you in that way. And acting upon that gratitude, acting upon, what you appreciate in your life, and then sharing that with as many people as possible, sharing that with people who have brought you any level of light into your life, being appreciative of those scenarios. When I find myself overwhelmed, and I have overscheduled myself recently, and I find myself like kind of panting back and forth. I don't know if any of you have ever done that. And you're like, you created the schedule, girl. Like, what is your problem? You're the one who double booked, triple booked yourself, and you're running here, there, and everywhere. And I think in that gratitude practice, in that stepping back, I think that allows for you to control a lot of things, for you to reflect on what you have, knowing that may be enough. And if you're adding to it, you're adding to it in a grateful space. And so this is just advice, as you know, that I give to myself each and every day, each and every day. And being able to people that, again, in passing, has done things for me that have been so impactful. And they were pretty much not aware. I mean, it wasn't even their intention to help me. It wasn't their intention to change my life or to even change my mood, but they did. And so I think that there's something freeing and empowering. Yes, Maureen, I agree. In letting people know that you are grateful for them, letting people know that you are thankful for them, and sharing that with them. So if it's just as easy as acknowledging and recognizing those that follow, fan, and like your pages, or make comments, just like you guys are making comments now on our various things that we've got going on, it's just acknowledging, say good morning, thanks for swinging by, easy stuff. But it affords you the ability to make sure that people know that they're seen and heard, and that you mean something to them, and that they mean something to you. Very simple. Basic manners. My 3-year-old's got it. Thank you, mommy, as he says, as he gets his chicken nuggets or his muffins. Thank you, mommy. Thank you, mommy. It's a very easy, simple thing that we all tend to forget as we become older. I'm blessed enough to continue to say thank you, mommy, to my mother and my father. Some of us who have lost loved ones would be grateful to say thank you to them. So while you're here and you are safe and you are healthy, let's incorporate gratitude into our lives. Let's say thank you to as many people as we can for the contributions that they've made to the lives in which we live. I'm so excited that I join you each and every day at 11 o'clock Eastern, providing you with a Scream Your Dream morning message. This Is It Network is your global digital network connecting remarkable women to inspiring stories. I meet you each and every day, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock Eastern, wherein our hopes is to connect you with our growing community, engaging content, and our real connections. I want you to find your voice, no longer whisper your wishes, and for all of you to scream your dream. I'm Sheldon Barlett Rumor, and this is it. I'll see you guys all tomorrow again at 11. Take care.